Okay, so rule number 2 talks about finding the percent. So in the previous case, we had the percent and the whole cost. Now we're going to have the part, the whole, and we need to find that percent. So imagine a student is taking a test and he got 60 questions correct and there was 120 questions total on the exam. So let's go ahead and do it with our fraction strips. We know that the first one is going to be percents. And we know that percents are always out of 100. The second one is going to be questions. Now, what is the total amount of questions that we're working with? 120. So this fraction strip is going to equal 120 questions, okay? Now, they tell us how many questions we got correct. We got 60 correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this bar up. Now, 60 is how much of 120? Right? If we divide 120 by 60, we're going to get 2. So that means that we need to split up this fraction bar into 2 pieces. All right? This one is going to be 60, and this one is going to be 60. If we had 100 and we split it up into 2 pieces, we're going to get 50 on this side and 50 on the other, right? So we're looking now for this problem. We only got 60 questions correct, right? So what percent is that of the test? That's 50%. We got 50% of the questions correct on that test, again, using the fraction strips to model. Now, our numbers may not always be that clean, so we can also use the proportions to set it up. Again, we know that this side, or one side, is always going to represent percents, and the other side, in this case, we're talking about questions, so I'm going to represent that as questions. Now, we know percents are always out of 100, so our denominator is going to be 100 on the percent side. And then on this side, we know that we got 60 questions right, and there was a total of 120. So we are looking for this percent right over here. So what we're going to do again is, using the butterfly method, we're going to cross multiply 60 times 100. That's going to give us 6,000. And then on the other side, we're going to do 120 times x, which is just 120x. Now, in order to get this x by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 120. 6,000 divided by 120 is going to give us 50. So that, again, that goes back to what we got here, 50 questions. We got 50%, excuse me. We got a 50% on this test. We got 50% of the questions correct, and we confirmed that using our proportion method as well.